stewards of your time. Now it says 6 o'clock on the one that I may see. I'm going to call the Leavenworth Preservation Commission meeting to order. First item is that we're going to establish that we have a quorum. And it appears we do. We have 4 instead of 3 like last month. Apologize for doing the rest of my life and not being here, because this is like really important to me. I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes from last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that the meetings, that we approve the minutes from the June 4th meeting. All in favor, I'll start with you, Ken.
Aye.
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 I'm going to abstain because I wasn't present.
You can still vote on the minutes.
Okay, then I just vote an aye, so it's across the board. All right, the first thing up is new business.
You ready?
I'm prepared.
Okay. So, this is a state law review. It's case number 2025-14 LPC, 704 Cherokee. State law review for proposed exterior modifications of property located at 704 Cherokee. This property is located in the downtown historic district. So 704 Cherokee, I'm just going to kind of briefly summarize this. 704 Cherokee, the nomination notes this building retains a high degree of integrity and is contributing structure to the district. 704 and 706, if you can see on here, they are together. Oops. And then the 706 Cherokee, the nomination notes that because of the irreversible alterations, this building does not retain sufficient integrity to provide associations and feelings related to its period of significance or its original commercial function. So the scope of work is, first of all, so on the first floor of 704 Cherokee is commercial space, and the second floor is a loft that's occupied by the property owner. The proposed scope of work is for the existing deck, the 3-foot by 24-foot deck to be replaced with a 12 by 12-foot deck. And the deck will be attached to both the 704 and 706 Cherokee. Let me bring this up here. I know he's got pictures. Where are the pictures? It's in your policy report.
Yes, we have a picture.
We've got pictures.
So anyways, they're just removing that. They're going to replace it with a 12 by 12 foot deck.
Oh, yeah.
He's also going to, did you get it?
This is Helmer.
Okay.
The first guy.
Oh, he's also going to improve these stairs to bring them up to code. They currently are not up to code. And then as for the, thank you.
There you go.
For the standards for rehabilitation, so 1 through 4, there's no proposed changes. Number 5, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. The existing wood deck does not have any unique construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship, and no existing historic features, finishes, or construction techniques will be altered. 6, 7, and 8, no proposed changes. Number 9, new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and shall be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. The proposed deck will not destroy historic materials of the property and will be compatible in scale and massing with the buildings. And then again, number 10, no such work is proposed. So we have staff here to answer the questions, and the property owner is here as well.
You have staff recommendations?
Staff would recommend approval.
Thank you.
As a property owner, would you please go to the microphone? Thank you. Would you give us your name, please?
David Soxy.
And do you want to
Mr.
open the public hearing real quick?
Yes, thank you. The public hearing is now open. Thank you. See what happens when I disappear for a month? Thank you. Oh. Mr. Zoxy, thank you for joining us. We have a couple questions for you before you get started. We looked at the current structure as it is, and then we looked at your, what I would call your augmentation to going to the next piece of it. So there are a couple pre-questions that we have reference the deck. What would be pillar number 1, I'm going pillar 1, 2, 3, then you have the top of the stairs.
Up here?
Yes, right over there. Okay, I'm just asking because it might be just because it's the rendering, but the question was, when you put that on there, there's no support underneath right there, which is, there's a one pillar that's on this corner that's closest to me, but if you go to the very next corner, no, it's just straight across. You're going to my right, but if you'd go back to my left, and at the very top of the stairs, as it comes into the deck, okay, that corner, if you go down underneath the stairs, there's no support there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that is a rendering, and there is support there now. It's a 4x4, we're going to put a 6x6 right below the stair, right, so it would be adjacent to the building. There's a with existing deck and roof above that deck, it does have a 4x4 support there now, but with the new plan, we're putting a 6x6 in that location, in the same location. So yes, there would be, and it doesn't show, I agree, but it should be there, yes. That's
Yes.
6x6.
Rich?
If you go to 823,
A23?
yes.
If you look at the old picture, you can see where the posts are, and there's a roof above the existing 4-foot deck, and that roof we would maintain, but just put a stronger column there.
Yes, sir.
Across
Right
that,
there.
Okay.
These are the posts that support the deck. And the deck is actually 4x17 with an 8x12 extension.
yes,
So you're replacing the 3x24 with a 4x17
no,
with an 8x12 extension.
yeah, yes, that's true.
Not 12x12.
Yeah, well, yeah,
You have
so
that little piece on the side.
we will remove that and replace that portion. But yes, you're right, it would be an 8x12 increase in the size from what it's there now. But we would remove.
That's not my.
Okay, sure.
My issue is, here's the post, the supporting members underneath the deck. And as President just said, under S1 and the deck, to the top, there's no post there. You're saying there will be a
Yeah.
post?
There should be. I'm sorry, but yeah, I apologize that,
And the reason, that's not for us to approve, but it's ours to approve that hanging on that building, which is the historical piece. And if that comes off the ledger, it's going to damage the building.
yeah,
If
it's,
there's not a post on the top side of S1 and the deck of 6x6 going down, I, from a construction standpoint, see that as a flaw.
yeah, well, we would, and I agree with you. I'm a civil engineer, so I agree with you. That needs to be a support there so that you don't put extra stress on the building.
Yeah.
So I apologize it doesn't show up on that drawing, but this was done by one of the home stores here with their
Menards.
computers, so
Yeah.
it wasn't, the final drawings are not done, but I agree, and I will put 6x6 posts there, because we need it. If you look on the original drawing, there's a roof above the 4-foot deck, and we're going to maintain that, so it has to have the column to keep going up there. And you're right, it would put too much stress on the face of the building. Yes.
Are you being required to take care of the problem that this extends out into the parking lot by about 6 or 7 feet?
Yeah, there's room for 3 cars there. We normally have 2 cars parked there, the business owner below, and then our car. So you would encroach on possibly 1 parking spot, which is very hard to use because the neighbor parks their trailer there. So you can't use that inside parking spot, so you're not really losing anything.
No, what I'm saying is, you now have support beams, support posts, sitting in the parking lot.
Yes, yes.
How are you
There's a room for,
creating a barrier?
no, there's room for 3 between that garage and the back of the current situation, but you can't really use the most inside one, the most southern spot, because the neighbor parks their trailer there, so you couldn't actually get around there. So when you put those posts out there, you're not really losing. We have room for 2 spots, and those 2 spots will still be there.
But there's parking on the other side there. In
Yes.
other words, if I'm looking at the deck, behind me, there's parking for other buildings in there, right?
No,
There's no parking?
no, that parking, because I own the garage behind, that property goes all the way to the alley, and the garage behind that building, 704, is also belongs to me. So there's no parking for anybody else there. That's for 704.
Well, my concern again is there has to be some kind of barrier that whomever comes back there and turns around and hits that post, that deck's coming down.
Okay, I understand that. So would you like us to add something in front of it, or like
It's
a,
not for us,
Okay.
other than to say,
Okay.
we have a concern
yeah,
to the plans people that you have some type of barrier, whether it be curb piece or whatever, that precludes
we could-
people
we could-
backing up and slamming into those
we
posts.
could definitely add that, like maybe a big concrete planter or something like that. But it's
Whatever.
very difficult to get in that there because the L&R refrigeration, that's the building 706, they maintain a trailer there, so you can't get into that first parking lot. You have to always back out going towards the alley, going towards the west, which would be the northwest. You have to park at a diagonal because the trailer that sticks out from L&R, the 706 property, doesn't allow you to get in adjacent to that, very, very close to that deck.
Okay. Well,
But we could put a planter or something there that would keep you from hitting those posts, yes.
whatever you do, you need to do it, but that's not our approval.
I understand.
But we're concerned from a standpoint of if somebody hits that post, you're going to damage the building. Not just the deck,
Yeah.
the building, because
Yeah.
it's sitting on a ledger.
No, I'm just referring to this trailer.
Yeah, I see it.
It's always there, so we can't really ever park there. We have to park to the 2 spots that are farther to the north, and when you back out, you have to park back this way. But of course, when you go out 8 foot, you're gonna have columns there, like you just mentioned. So that it would be a concern, because you're worried about hitting those columns and then having that damage the building.
Okay.
That's a good comment.
Are there any other concerns?
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, then, from our perspective, I'm willing to entertain a motion.
Do you want to close the public hearing first? Or
Sure. Well, do I need to close it okay. If there's no other comments, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. Thank you both very much. See, 3 brains work better than 1. Okay. So we're going to close the public hearing. Will you please allow yourself to have a seat, and thank you very much. Okay. With the public hearing officially closed, I will now entertain a motion.
I move that we accept it, but that we provide comment to the plans people of our concerns about potential damage to the building.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded that we approve the consideration, but requesting that there's a comment sent to plans about our reservations, about the support extending into the parking lot. If everyone is good with that, Ken, I'll start with you.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So go forward and do good stuff, but as always, we're trying to be supportive, and sometimes when you do a project, it's kind of like you see what you see, and sometimes when different folks look at it, there's just an additional safety concern, and we don't want your building to be ripped apart, and it'd be far more expensive to do something proactive as opposed to reactive. But again, thank you very much, because that's a good part about coming here to help represent what you're trying to get accomplished and make sure that we give you 4 different perspectives on the same thing. So thank you both very much. Okay. Next item, please.
Right, our next item we have for you is a little bit of an unusual item. And it is a request that we have from a developer for you all to provide a letter of support for a project that they're working on. So a little bit of background on this. This is going to be a rehabilitation of the Helmers building located at, what's their address? 300 Santa Fe Street. The building itself is a registered historic property, and it also has its own district, the Helmers Manufacturing District, surrounding it. So the proposal includes rehabilitating that building, which is currently being used in a very limited capacity for some office space, and making it into a residential use, low-income residential use. So the developer is hoping to apply for some low-income housing tax credits as well as historic tax credits in order to make this project happen. As part of the historic tax credit application, the State Historic Preservation Office is actually doing the review that you all would typically do for historical compatibility. So they have already done that portion of it and are working with the developer on ensuring that what work they do will be in keeping with the historical nature of the building. Now they're moving on to their low-income housing tax credit application, and they submit this to the Kansas Housing Resource Center. In order to make a strong application, they have requested that the local preservation board provide a letter of support saying that you all are aware of this project and would support it. So the developer did provide us with a letter of support that's in your packet, the existing language there that they would like to use. If you all would like to modify any of that, we can certainly do that. And then I did include for you a motion of whether or not to have the chairperson sign this letter in support, not sign this letter in support, or you all can choose to do nothing and table the matter. But I will mention, if you choose to table it, this is a time-sensitive issue, so it likely would not get included in their application in time.
Are they well aware of what it takes to create this thing with renters and low income? I mean, do they have a decent background looking at it?
I believe that they do. As far as our perspective, I did not do a financial analysis of it, but they are an organization that does this in different areas. From my perspective, on the planning side of it, we have taken this to the Development Review Committee, and we've provided comments from a planning side, engineering, fire, police. So we do think it could be feasible from that perspective. And in addition, this property was actually rezoned for this use last year. So the Planning Commission approved a rezoning to the residential mixed-use district last year in support of this project. So this has gone in front of the Planning Commission as well. It went? Oh, and it went to the City Commission for that rezoning as well.
Okay. So I know that the state has the overall approval, so I'm just trying to make sure that when I ask my couple questions, that the definitive portion from us is they want to know if we as a local organization are willing to support the project. So we have no other input into that factor, just to offer a support of it.
No, and this will come back when it's approved. It will come back to
Not
them.
to this group, no, because it's
Oh, they're doing
getting
the
the
tax.
historic
The
review through
yeah.
the state,
So the
so,
state will review it.
yeah.
Okay. Do we have any questions up here?
So
Let's
my
start with
understanding
Ken.
here is this is a this is an adaptive reuse project, right, where they're going to pursue historic tax credits and low-income housing tax credits. I've been in this building probably 50 times. It's a very unique building. It is very underutilized, and I believe that changing this to a residential mixed-use project would be an absolutely superior use of this property. I believe they put it forth last year and were not selected. So they reached out to this particular body in order to get they were not selected for the low-income housing tax credits. I think they'll have no problem getting the state historic tax credits. They've done this sort of stuff a lot. But the numbers still don't pencil out unless you get the low-income housing tax credits. So my interpretation of this is we're basically signing this letter and say, yes, this is a property that needs to be used for adaptive reuse. The Historic Preservation Commission is interested in historic preservation. And to the extent that they can do that, and we know they're going to stay inside the left and right limits here because it's got to be approved by the state Historic Preservation Office. I mean, to me, approving this seems pretty much like a no-brainer for us. Any other thoughts? I can be swayed, though.
No, I think it's an excellent, and there's no indication that the exterior of this is going to be changed with the drawings that were provided. And
Yeah, I think the SHPO would have a major problem.
yeah.
I mean, they'll take the boards down and put windows
Such
in,
as the
and that'll be
windows
great.
are
Yeah,
still the same.
yeah.
No, I think it's an empty building, basically, almost. And so it's a great opportunity.
I agree.
Okay. Then I'm willing to entertain a motion for my signature to go on something.
So moved.
Second?
So it's been moved and properly second that we endorse the project, which will include a signature from me as the chairperson of the Leavenworth Historical Society, so that we may push this Historical Preservation Commission. Thank you, I caught myself. The sentence still runs together. So we'll start with you, Rich.
Aye.
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 Aye, so that's unanimous that I am going to sign off on this representing us. And then we'll push this back to the State Historical Society and see what comes of it.
Perfect. We'll give you a hard copy of that to sign at the end of the meeting.
Okay,
And can you
thank
let
you.
us know?
What was that?
Can you let us know how it develops?
Yeah?
I don't want to
Yeah,
just
we can
approve
keep you
something and then
updated
never
as we
find
get
out.
information.
All right.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you both. And your next item is?
Okay, our next item is, again, something I think that's a little bit unique for this board. It's really a request for comment, and again, whether or not the board would support formation of a new historic district called the 5th Street Historic District. So a little background on this one. Staff received notification, the letter that they notified us with is included within your packet, that a group of local homeowners represented by a consultant had applied for a new historic district located at 5th and Arch Street. So this district, whether or not to approve it, is actually voted on by the Kansas Historic Sites Board. So again, they are making the decision of whether or not to create this district. So you all don't vote on whether or not to create it, but the Kansas State Historic Preservation Office requests that our board provide comment and also provide, they gave us a form to fill out. Basically, there's a checkbox saying whether or not the board supports it or does not support it. So essentially, that is what is in front of you for this item. And then again, I do have a motion presented. Would you choose to do a motion either to support the 5th Street Historic District listing on the State and National Register of Places, or to not support the nomination for the 5th Street Historic District listed on the State and National Register of Historic Places? And then again, you also do have the option for this one to take no action, table the item, However, if you were to do that again, I believe they have requested we give their comments back by October 4th, so we may meet again by then, or we may not, if we don't have any other applications, so.
Where is this property located in conjunction? I believe we have an Arch Historic District.
Let
Yes.
us pull up.
So is it contiguous in any portion?
It is not, I don't believe.
Here's Third Avenue.
Yeah, but you've come up too far.
And there.
Do you want to
Here's
maybe
Arch.
outline these three properties?
Get
Like,
rid of this.
yeah.
So just from me to you, it's just opposite of the,
So
It would be
these
the east side of-
properties like across the street?
yes,
These-
from the
these
church,
right here.
yes.
Oh,
So,
okay, so it's
Five-
not in the Arch District?
Yeah, they're,
no,
Ours over here is closer to the Third Avenue.
Okay.
And do you think probably one of the reasons it wasn't, I don't know, included in like the Third Avenue District or the Arch District is just, you couldn't get there and be contiguous?
I don't know why it wasn't included, if I'm just
I
gonna
mean,
be
there could
honest
be
with you.
Any reason, that maybe the people didn't want it in there, the
Could
current
be,
owners at the
could be.
time.
And now it appears that the owners do want to have it in there, or do want to have it in a historic district. That's my understanding, coming from Jamie.
right, so it consists of just the three houses, 420, 1021, and 1015. Yes.
And there are some photos provided in the packet of those homes, as well as the form that was filled out by the requester illustrating the details of those homes.
So my questions, couple of questions, of course. So the district would just be the, inclusive of the three houses?
Correct.
Okay. Now, I've been in 420 over the years. I'm really very familiar with it. It's a beautiful structure, outside and inside for sure. 1021, I've just, they were neighbors of people that I knew there, but I guess I was just kind of confused because it was just, I wanted the clarity on it was just going to be those three houses make up the whole district. So that was just my only consideration. So the rest of everything else, 1030, that whole stretch are all going to be exclusive. They're not a part of that, because I'm really going for clarity on this. They're not a part of it, the next series are, but then you jump across 4th Street and that's another historic
That's a
district,
different
yes.
project, Yeah.
Okay. That's the view from Arch. I mean, I'm
Well,
sorry,
since
from
Ray
5th.
Harchin lives in 1015, I guarantee you he's dotted all the i's and crossed the t's. He's not gonna let this
That's the 215.
grow under his feet.
So that
And the
means,
fact that there's properties between these three homes and two other districts, they're not contiguous.
okay,
So they'd have to be their own district.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, Ray.
What's staff recommendation on this?
No problem.
We actually do not have a recommendation on this item.
It's so weak.
So, and that,
Let's hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so I've been in these houses, they're
Yeah.
really spectacular houses, I think they're very
they're
unique.
wanting to protect their property
And I
and
think, and
avail themselves of opportunities
absolutely.
for state support.
right.
You know, I have no problem with this at all, really, I mean,
I mean, it does put more restrictions on the property owners.
yeah.
Right.
But with that comes, the opportunities for historic tax credits and stuff like that, so, there's give and take, and they volunteered to do this, so let's not get in the way of property owners' rights. Any
Sounds
thoughts
solid.
from anyone else?
No, I've always enjoyed that house. It's, the first one that you're sitting at on the corner, it's just, probably over the last 10 years, I probably spent more time in, I was like real pleased I know something about the internal structure of something that's coming before us for a change, and I know how much refurbishing's been done across here. So if there's no other input, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
What's the motion for?
The motion is to approve the action and refer it back to,
Here, I'll help you, because I'll make the motion properly.
thank you.
Okay. Maybe, if I can, got a lot of paper this week. I'd like to make a motion to support the nomination of the Fifth Street Historic District for listing in the State and National Register of Historic Places.
So that's second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. The proper wording has already been provided. We'll now go to the vote. I'll start with Mr. Bateman.
Aye.
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 An aye.
All right.
It's unanimous, thank you.
And then, of course, the last item is just, for informational purposes, the minor certificates.
Any questions about any of those items?
And I do believe we have community. I'm not sure.
We'll let you know.
There's 4 of them, okay.
Do you remember that from?
I know this week was sort of unique because, we had a couple of letters of support. I mean, one of them was for historic district. Another one was for what would be a really significant project downtown, but I think generally we want to stay out of the giving letters of support business to everything around unless it's, the establishment of a district or something that could be transformational for the city. Anybody thoughts on that?
Well, because mostly it's, if we're willing to sign off as a support of it, it means that we're.
Yeah, you usually vote on it.
Yes.
But these are two things that we can't actually vote to approve.
True.
And we think that they would be, help for the property owners, or be, the establishment of a district is a pretty big muscle movement. Putting 200 apartments can be a pretty transformative thing for a city like this. So, I'm fine with that, but, if we get somebody who just comes up with, I don't want to say a harebrained idea, but that doesn't sort of reach the threshold of what this body should really be endorsing or not endorsing, we should pretty much decline to consider those things.
That's agreeable on my part, for sure.
Well, and we did that when we had a city elder come in and ask us to support something that was totally not in our realm.
Mm-hmm.
Had nothing to do with preservation or anything else.
Mhm.
He stood there and we said,
It's sort of articulated our
responded
reason.
to him that
We got nothing to do with this? Yeah.
not for us.
I behave occasionally,
Okay.
but,
Well, great.
but thank you for the insight on that. So that's just sharing our perspective back with you, the Planning Commission, and Kim, you specifically, to help us kind of stay on track. And, if they require us to do that, they can come in the room and visit with us, and a no is still a no, and that's the
Yeah, they can
guideline.
come for any public hearing. or
Yes,
whatever,
any
but
public
there's
hearing.
Certain things that we can't, we just don't want to get into having 5 letters of support for, every meeting or whatever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I do think these are 2 unique situations. I don't think it's probably very often that we're going to see such a large-scale LIHTC project in a historic building, nor creation of a district. But it's my understanding that if you all did not vote on the Fifth Street Historic District, there is an option for us just to not provide any comment. But for me, I would rather present it to you all and give you that opportunity to speak on it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And I appreciate the gatekeeping role
Truly.
that you.
Yeah.
So is there anything else to come before us?
Yeah, we need to welcome Sarah.
That's the next piece, always.
We do have that.
So on behalf of everyone up here, we'd like to welcome Miss Sarah Roll. I had an opportunity to come in and visit with her earlier this week to let her know that I know the two of us are always going to come by and ask about something, but I hope you're real excited about participating with this team up here. I think we're just collectively just a good bunch. That's all 7 of us, not just this team up here. So if there's something we can do to help make your job a little less painful, please let us know, but welcome, for sure. You're welcome.
Fit in well.
You got to work with those two every day, I understand. Just go one day at a time like everybody else does with everything. If there's nothing else to come before us, would our visitor, do you have any kind of comment from your observations today?
I guess I'm curious why these 3 homes, because going back 50 years ago, we've spent a lot of money in the city to have site supervisors come in that are experts in the field, and there's certain parameters for how you determine a historic district. And I'm wondering.
Ron, can you go up to the microphone so we can,
Yeah, I
so
know
the
public part's done, so.
no, we haven't adjourned yet, though.
Okay. I've never been to one of these meetings before, and so, but I have been involved with at the National Park Service level on a lot of different projects. And so I guess I'm a little confused, the history behind why those 3 homes. Generally, you can't just say, I don't want to be on. That's not an option for you to say you don't want to be on the historic district. And you can have nice looking homes, but a lot of times there's a lot of other parameters why you're in a historic district. Could be the architect for the building, could be a famous person associated with that building. There's other issues there, so I'm just curious. So I think that Ken mentioned about tossing out letters of support without really having the back history. I don't know the staff here, and I don't know how far they go back, but I can remember Winder was a lady that spent 3 months in Leavenworth. We paid her a lot of money to go on different historic districts, so I guess I'm a little.
To answer your basic question, these 3 homes have some historical significance, 2 of which go back into the mid-1800s.
Okay.
One is in 1921. We were provided all of that.
Do you have that information there? Is that public information that you guys have?
Yes, sir.
Can the public have access to that?
It's on our, we put all the agendas on the website. for
And that's
the city.
public information?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, like the gentleman.
They went into the significance of the exterior and so on and its property.
Okay, well,
It's quite extensive.
I'm just trying to get some experience about the Preservation Commission, what you do, how you connect to the State Historic Preservation Office, and how that goes to the National Park Service, because, we have a lay assigned. Kristen Moody used to be the person assigned to Kansas, for example, and they're very particular about, even on this deck in the back of the house, what kind of wood you use. All those parameters that you mentioned. You said you're in construction, so like no knot pine, the width of the pieces of wood, they go down to even repointing, reglazing. It's very specific.
And having done First Presbyterian Church here in Leavenworth and getting them on the National Historical Register.
So you're aware of all, okay.
I did that.
Okay, well, fantastic. Okay, I'm just here to observe and everything, and this is all volunteer, work that you're doing, and there's so many different properties. I was just curious why those 3 homes would have been left out of historic district. Do you have any rationale for that?
I can only guess that they were not contiguous to whatever the survey was done for the Arch Street or 3rd Avenue.
So in your knowledge then, can someone say, I don't want to be in a historic district?
Yeah, I believe they can.
Yeah.
I don't think you can force them.
If you look at some of the boundaries, it goes around.
One
not
particular
completely,
large building
but
downtown
3
that
sides
would-
of a home may not be in the district.
Okay. Okay, well, I may be confused. I have some records that go back to when some of the original site people that the city hired to create some of these historic districts, not only downtown, but in different residential areas, like on Esplanade Street and like that. And I can remember the one gal, because I had quite a few conversations with her. So I was just curious about that. So I appreciate you all doing your work. It's always good to have experienced staff that are in historic preservation. So, like for example, on the deck on the back of this piece of property, which is in the alley, which I guess public isn't going to see. So Does the Historic Preservation Office get involved with that at all then? Or is this just a city building codes thing? How'd that come, because it's in a historic district, I guess it comes to you.
Yes.
Does the state SHPO officer, like Katrina Ringelert, any of those people come and look at that then, or?
But we're only looking at it from the standpoint of, does it damage the historical building itself?
The character of the building,
Right.
okay.
So I think when it comes to these sort of things, we have there's some sort of mechanism that allows this board to almost act as a replacement for the state, so it doesn't have to go up to the state.
For CLG.
Yes, CLG. I knew it was 3 letters. Everything's 3 letters. It's what's a CLG?
Certified local government.
Yes, so I think there's some statutory limitations on what can be a certified.
So if somebody
local
wanted to
government.
eliminate the state SHPO officer and the National Park Service, you could come to you could approve then a project?
No.
No, because if you,
Just local.
just-
Certified local government.
just local, and it would have nothing to do with the federal.
And we actually have a contract and agreement with the Kansas Historic Society that we have to abide by. There are regulations.
Yeah, they say we have to use
You
all
could
the,
eliminate some
We have
hoops to jump through then if you just came here. You wouldn't
that is
have-
correct, yes.
So if that happens, and they're wanting to repoint windows, re-hand glaze, original wood, all this sort of thing, no knot pine, the difference between even minions like that is 3.5 inches versus 3 3/4. And you oversee that then and make sure it's done that way then?
No, it's got to still meet codes.
Well, this would not be building code, this would
Yes.
be preservation codes. So preservation briefs, the preservation briefs, and you have the standards of historic rehabilitation, there's 2 large manuals. So who enforces that then, if it just comes to your board? Who
Well, if it's-
oversees that?
If it's a project that someone is doing that is not going to go for federal tax credits, then it would land here unless it became some other larger project, like a Herkins.
Or the applicant could choose to bypass this preservation commission and go straight to the state. Even if they don't use the historic tax credits.
Because the cost basis on federal tax credits is a little more involved financially than what people can imagine. A lot of people don't qualify them, not because of the project, because of the building, is because
And
of
the process is a lot
cost basis,
longer.
yeah.
The process
So-
is a lot longer.
For
and-
instance, First Presbyterian Church, which I'm a member of, I just did a tax credit, I went straight to the state. I did not have to inform them here, this board, but they get notified from the state that we're doing this,
You guys do.
yes.
Did you apply for National Park Service federal tax credits then also?
I don't do federal,
You just do state?
right. Even though we're federally recognized,
Saves a lot of headaches by,
Well, yeah, but he wouldn't need to because generally the churches are tax-free,
yeah,
so they
we're
would.
not looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking projects of maybe 11,000 at the most.
okay. Well, I'm probably asking some irrelevant questions to you guys, but I guess I do care about historic preservation. I care about doing it correctly. I care about someone, in the business world, you always plan, you delegate, and you follow up. A lot of times, there's no follow-up to see if they actually did what they said they were going to do. Does that make sense to you? Not
Yes.
really.
That makes-
Yes,
makes
no, I
sense.
totally agree.
I see a lot of corner cutting, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to get a handle on who's actually the last person to sign off and say, okay, you've met all these requirements.
Those people don't want to deal with Kim.
Don't want what?
They don't want to deal with Kim. If they cut corners, Kim's going to come after them.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure you're right.
And can you state your name one more time, just to make sure we have it for the
I'm
record?
just a citizen of the city.
Can you state your name though, please, for the minutes?
That's Booth, B-O-O-T-H.
Booth. What is it?
So,
Ron.
the city's, I've always had good success with the city and what have you, so I don't have any issues to burn or anything like that. I was just interested in how the board operates. I've never been to one of these meetings before, and I can see that it's in good hands, it looks like to me.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
And after this meeting, you can have a copy of my packet if you want, that has all the supporting documentation for what we talked about tonight. So that includes all the information about the nomination, the work that went into that, the history of these of these homes and everything.
I think it's very beneficial, even the gentleman here on the right-hand side on the structure of that deck. I was thinking about personal liability actually, but I hope he puts more than a planter there because a car and people are on that deck and it collapses.
Well, it's gonna damage the building. That's our concern.
Well, yeah, I see that, but I was looking at the next
Yeah, and
down the road, so very perceptive though, and that'll help them out on eliminating some backtracking, so. Okay, well, I will let myself out the back door, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
thank you.
Sorry to extend your meeting and everything.
No, thank you for
I don't know
coming.
how many people you get pro and con, but I learned a lot tonight, and I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
And
Do you want a copy of this?
Is it an extra one?
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, everybody.
You're welcome.
Thanks for
And
your
I-
transparency also. You're very open and very transparent. I like that, so how you talk to each other.
And one last thing, I think, before we do the adjourn thing is, I believe July 1st was the day that the 40% tax credits, state tax credits went into effect for projects that use state historic tax credits. So it's up from 30. It was 20 a little while ago. I believe it was 20 a little while ago.
Well, it was
About
20
25.
and not-for-profit was 25.
That's right, yeah, and now it's
And then it went up
40.
to 25 for everything,
Yeah, so
or 30.
just FYI for the 5 people who watch us on YouTube.
I hate to say those 5 views are probably just us rewatching the minutes.
Well, if there's nothing else, excuse me, I'll entertain a motion for us to close.
I would make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that we adjourn the meeting. All in favor, just simply say aye.
Aye.
Which is unanimous. That's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
That's good though, that people.
Let me bring this up for your
Yeah, yeah,
signature.